Yes, it did work. Give it a second to show up. Hello, we are live. I'm just going to pull this up on my phone just so that I can make sure that everything is right. And then we're going to jump right into this collective message. For those of you watching the replay, or maybe you're coming in later and just catching the beginning, I am using streaming software. So, because of the streaming software that I'm using, if you comment and I respond, it'll take a couple seconds. I don't know, maybe like a 10-second lag. I don't know what it is exactly, but it will take a second for me to see and respond to your comment. I am trying to find my stream. It's not showing up on my phone. Give me a second. I have to share this to my phone really quick because I just need to make sure that everything is working well with the sound. But anyway, as I'm getting this stuff together, why don't we do a little chit chat? I will do a timestamp on this at some point, yeah, because I can see the time there. So I'll do a timestamp for those of you who watch the replay. But I have been going through a lot lately, and not going through a lot in the sense of like trials and tribulations and I don't know if I'm gonna make it through it. Like, not going through a lot in that way, but just like processing a lot, moving through a lot. And wait, let me get a timestamp. Okay, 2 minutes in, because this is kind of a part of the message. This is a part of the message. It's part of what inspired the message. So, leveling up, going to a new place in my life, having a new experience in my life, it's kind of like basically the baggage can't come with you. The baggage can't come with you. And when I say the baggage, I mean all of the pain of the past, all of the suffering, all of the old stories. So I'm somebody who loves to tell a story. I am somebody who, absolutely loves to talk about my past, especially because I teach people and I help people and I support them. And I do that by focusing on my past. Okay, perfect. I just pulled it up on my phone and was listening to myself speak for a couple of seconds just to make sure that everything sounded good. I'm fine with the audio quality and everything, so let's keep going with this message. I focus on my past. I talk about my past because it's helpful. And at the same exact time, it's like there's a fine line between talking about the past because it's helpful and harping on the past because there's stuff that you haven't processed. Harping on the past because there's an unmet need that's there. So that's really what's happening when we're venting. That's why venting is not helpful. Processing is helpful, but venting is not helpful. Venting is the thing that you do when you just go on and on and on about the thing, but you're not. Is that Toffee? Hold on, I'm seeing different things right now. Hi, baby. How are you? How are you doing? So, venting is the thing that you do. Let me change it from top chat to all messages. So, venting is the thing that you do when you're just talking about what happened over and over and over again, and you can't seem to stop talking about it. It's like you're trying to meet a need by talking about it, but you're not actually processing the emotions. You're not actually identifying how you feel. You're not actually working through it. And because you're not actually working through it, you're never actually feeling any better. So I had just been realizing like we've got to let more of the past go. I'm calling in new romance, allowing in new romance, allowing in better relationships, allowing in more money, allowing in more success. And you are too in the collective. I'm just using myself as an example, and then I'll start talking more about you in a second. I'm leveling up, and I realized that a part of me doesn't want more attention. A part of me doesn't want more success. A part of me doesn't want to be seen. A part of me doesn't want all of these things that I've been working towards for so long because of all of the shitty shit that happened to me the last times that I got success. I felt successful in college. I felt like I was on top of the world. And then I was just humiliated and betrayed and a lot of things that I don't want to get into. I really do not need to start crying right now. So I've been processing that. Inside of my course, the Release, Reconnect, and Recognize course, there's a whole bonus inside of Module 4 on resentment, revenge, forgiveness, yada, yada, yada. I think it was originally one audio, then it became like 3 parts, and now it's 4 parts because I just added another part, and then I'm going to add another part, so it'll be 5 parts. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that I've been moving through and navigating the nuances of forgiveness and justice. I think that in the spiritual community, a lot of people talk about forgiving and just letting stuff go. Just let it go. Just release it. Just, it happened for a reason. Just recognize how it set you up for success and all of this other stuff. And I'm not really actively checking the live chat. I have it kind of closed off on my screen so that I can concentrate. But just know that throughout this, I will be checking the live chat. So if I haven't responded to you, I'm not ignoring you. I just don't see you because I kind of want to stay focused. And give me a second. I got to get into the groove and let the things flow. And I'm also still processing in a really sensitive place. But I wanted to show up and I wanted to be a little bit vulnerable and I wanted to give to my people. And I also felt like so many of these messages will resonate for my collective. And so here we are. Okay. So where was I with what I was just talking about? We hear about just forgive, just let go, and all of that. And I understand the role that forgiveness plays. We talk more about that in the course. We also want to talk about justice. We also want to talk about what's fair. We also want to talk about what's right. We also want to talk about how to get our needs met. And one of the reasons why I was talking so much about the things that happened to me in the past was because there are these inner children, these parts of me that do not feel heard at all, that were never heard, that were never acknowledged. I come from a culture as Black people, as Black women, so like the intersection of my race and my gender as a woman, we're taught not to speak up. As a woman, we're taught that we're insignificant. We're taught that we don't matter as a Black person. I feel culturally, systemically, as a consequence of, human history, we're taught that we're not important. We're taught that we're not significant. So I've been working through that and I've been navigating that. And when you're somebody who has been told that you don't matter, how you feel doesn't matter, what you need doesn't matter, people can hurt you and harm you and abuse you and do whatever they want to you, and that just is what it is. It felt like as a Black woman, you just have to grin and bear it. As a Black woman, this is just how it is. As a Black woman, I'm going to rise up anyway. As a Black woman, I'm going to, and this is not just for Black women, obviously, just putting that out there, but I'm going to rise anyway. I'm going to go above and beyond anyway. I'm going to do amazing things anyway. And it's not that that's wrong, but it's that you deserve justice. You deserve justice. And I think justice looks like different things for different people. But for me, one of the major components of justice right now is being seen, being heard, and being acknowledged. I believe that there should be a record of the things that happened to me. And I don't just mean in a memoir. I don't just mean in a book. I don't just mean on my podcast. I don't just mean on my YouTube channel. These things are significant. The work that I do is absolutely significant. And for me to be able to sit in front of large audiences of people, whether that's online or in person, and be able to give these messages and share and teach and heal as a consequence of what I've experienced, that's amazing and that's wonderful. But when I'm talking about there should be a record of the things that happened to me, I'm really referring like systemically. I can only trace my family line so far back because there wasn't a record of the things that were happening to me. There wasn't a record of the things that were happening to me as a Black person. There wasn't a record of the things that were happening to me as an enslaved person. There wasn't a record of the things that were happening to me. My ancestors who were abused, there wasn't a record of the things that happened to them. And I'm not just talking about, we can look at history and we can hear different people's stories and, they're like accounts of events, I don't know what the fuck that phrase is, but like we can recount. I feel like count is in the word. Recall the event? I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter. The point is that we can hear other people's stories, but I'm not talking about other people's stories. I'm not talking about in general. I'm talking about what happened to me. And by me, I mean like my lineage. I mean my flesh. I mean my blood. I mean my DNA. I mean the intergenerational trauma that I inherited. There's not a record of that. There was no police that she could go to. There was no Title IX that she could report to, that they could go to, that they could report to. So to me, justice looks like speaking out. To me, justice looks like there being a record. Beyonce has a song. And her song, the title of the song is I Was Here. And it basically, my interpretation of the song is that she's just talking about like, I left something. I left my mark on this world. And I think that when we are raised, and as a consequence of how we're raised, we feel insignificant. We feel like we don't matter. We feel like we're not important. When we don't speak up, when there's not a record of events, what happens when the friend that you told passes away after or before you pass away? What happens when your great-granddaughter doesn't hear the story of the things that happened to you? What happens when the memories and the stories that you're playing in your head, when that's just gone, It's not that you are insignificant, but for me, it's a representation. Having a record and a recording is a physical manifestation and a representation of my significance. I'm a woman who matters, and the things that happen to me matter, and the way that I'm treated matters, and the way that I feel in situations matters, the way that people speak to me matters. We've heard the phrase Black Lives Matter so much. This is an embodiment of that. What does that actually mean? So there's a record of things. And this is a little bit my story and what I've been going through and just kind of filing different reports. And I filed a few different reports on a few different people from a few different institutions, whatever. And in the reports, it was just like, I just need this to be recorded. I just need this to be known. And I'm not saying that this has to be your intention or your desire or what you need. I'm just giving you intimacy into what I did and what worked for me and what helped me. I just need this to be recorded. To me, that's acknowledgement. So it wasn't really about, let's investigate, let's see what happened, let's see what conclusions we come to. I don't really care what conclusions you come to. I don't really care what you believe. I don't really care how you perceive me. There will be a record of what happened to me. There will be a record of how I felt and what I went through because I am significant, because I matter. And there will be consequences. Of course, there will be consequences. Regardless of what you think and how you feel, there will be consequences. So now let's get into those consequences. But before we get into that, I'm going to check the chat just to see. Love you always, the Cheetah Print Diva. Love and light, sing your way. Thank you, Toffee. Yes, yes, yes. This is exactly how I want to be seen and known, heard, and recognized in this world. It's your girl, Nath Hughes here, the Cheetah Print Diva. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You just made my day. You just made my day. Thank you for the love. It is official. I am now the Cheetah Print Diva. Amen. Okay. So let's get into the messages that we have here. So I pulled some cards. I knew that I was going to come and talk to you guys. I had already had this message. Okay, they're saying give the channeled message and then get into the cards. Perfect. I knew that I was going to come and talk to you guys. I knew that I wanted to share a little bit of my story, but the general message for the collective as well. Hold on. Limiting belief just came up in my mind. That's okay. I knew that I wanted to share that, but I pulled some cards for my ancestors. And then when I pulled those cards, I was like, ooh, freeze frame. Like, stop this right here because this is a part of the message that my collective needs to hear. So that was just me catching you up on all of the things that I've been doing, right? So, okay. The channeled message that I got is going to get a little bit biblical. I know in the spiritual community, when it gets a little bit biblical, it's a little bit controversial. No, it can get a little bit spooky-ooky. I love Keke Palmer. Okay, move on. So, in the Bible, it talks about God will create a table. God will prepare a table, a feast in front of your enemies. And this is just me going off memory, girl, okay? So if it's not the perfect quote unquote, then it's the Natalie Hughes version. This is the Nath Hughes version of the Bible. So I'm sorry, that's just so hilarious. If King James can have a version, then so can I. So in the Bible, it basically talks about God will prepare a feast in front of your enemies. That's all y'all need to know. So that was the energy. That was the vibe. I got the vibe of people talking. I feel like saying talking shit about you, but not just talking shit about you. Laughing at you. It's a real just humiliation vibes. being ridiculed, being put down. There were people who heard your story, thought you're lying, you're being dramatic, you're not telling the truth. It's almost as if people heard you, but they didn't feel you. People heard you, but they didn't believe you. People heard you, but they were like, people hear things and they go, well, if it was me, then I would have whoopty whoop. And if it was me, then, well, if I had started that business, my business would be a lot more successful by now. Well, if I had done that, then I would have you know what I'm saying? Like that. So there's a lot of talking. There's a lot of people who really discredited your journey and discredited your efforts. And y'all know me. Y'all know that I am not somebody who is going to get on here and tell you you can have whatever you want in life as long as you work hard for it. That's not the person that I am. I just took a whole week off spontaneously because baby girl, I needed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am not that person that's going to tell you you've got to work your fingers to the bone. I don't believe that. But if this message is for you, you're somebody who worked for your shit. And that's something that I've kind of struggled with. It's just acknowledging my efforts. Because for somebody who has perceived herself as lazy, I do a fuck ton of work. You know what I mean? So you might be the same in the collective. You really worked to get yourself somewhere, to get something for yourself, to achieve something for yourself. You could be people who took a different route, took a route that was more hard, took a route that was more difficult. And there are people who they're saying the phrase like, you don't look like what you've been through. You don't look like what you've been through. And this phrase of what you look like was almost going to be in the title of this reading because we're going to talk about that more. You don't look like what you've been through. So there are people who are looking at you who are like, look at this little Sharpay Evans looking ass bitch. Look at this girl who gets everything handed to her on a silver platter. Look at this girl who has more than enough money, who gets everything that she desires, who blah, blah, blah. And because people made assumptions about you, created stories about you in their minds so that they could feel comfortable watching you succeed or what the fuck ever, because they created those stories, they thought that it was okay to talk about you in the way that they did. They thought that it was okay to bully you in the way that they did. They thought that it was okay to attack you in the way that they did. They thought that it was okay to hurt you in the way that they did because they thought, well, she doesn't know pain. She doesn't know suffering. I heard the phrase like, you've never struggled a day in your life. You don't know what it's like to be me. But the crazy thing about it is that you handle yourself with so much grace. I chose queens, okay? You can be a queen, you can be a king, you could be a royal being, but I chose queens because it's a queenly energy that you're in if this message is for you. It's a royal vibe. It's a regal vibe. It's not something, it may not be something that you were born into, like physically in this realm. I'm talking about your soul. I'm talking about your energy. I'm talking about your presence. There is a regality to the way that you show up in the world, but it's not because of anything that you have tried to do or tried to become or tried to emulate, I think is the word that I want to use. It's because of who you are on a soul level. I almost was going to put a picture of an angel as a part of the thumbnail. You guys are earth angels. You probably most likely 100% resonate with being some sort of higher being, like being a being from some sort of higher realm. Some of you might call yourself aliens. Some of you might identify with being an angel. Some of you might identify with being some sort of deity or goddess reincarnate in some sort of reiteration or something like that. It doesn't really matter what the hell you're calling it. You're incredibly powerful. You're incredibly powerful. And on my podcast a couple weeks ago, you might want to go listen to it. It should be linked in the description, I think. I'm like positive it is. There's links down there, so you can find it. I know my Instagram is there for sure. So worst case scenario, go to my Instagram and then it's linked in the bio. Excuse me. I have to burp a little bit. I've been feeling a lot of physical shifts after the past couple of days and just a lot. Okay, anyway, let's continue. So, where are we in our story? You'll resonate with being some sort of higher being who has come here to give powerful things to the world. A powerful healer who has come to support the world. And because of who you are on a soul level, oh, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about the podcast. So in the podcast episode 2 weeks ago, it was about sometimes God will hide your identity. So if you want to hear more about that and like not really recognizing your greatness and kind of like why those things happen as a source of inspiration, then go listen to that episode. Okay, thank you. Now that train of thought can leave me. Okay. So you're incredibly powerful people and you're incredibly powerful healers, but you didn't have an awareness of your capacity to heal, your capacity to give. And I don't like, obviously you're people who like to be of service. Obviously you're people who are generous. I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about your capacity to like give your soul to the world. And I'm hearing the phrase like give of your soul, give from your soul. It's like you have gifts. You have gifts embedded in your existence. Like it's just who you are. And it's what you've come here to do. And it's who you've come here to be. And it's so strongly embedded in your soul. It's like Moana. The call isn't out there at all. It's inside me. It's like the tides always falling and rising. You understanding what I'm saying? If this is for you, you're understanding what I'm saying. So you've got a powerful purpose. You've got an incredibly powerful calling. And so things have happened for you a little bit easier than for other people, except they haven't. And the way that it feels to me is kind of like you go through things that are way worse, or you feel things that are way worse. Like you don't look like what you've been through, but because of your soul and because of your power, it's like you've been gifted this grace. You have this agility. Your ability to move through tumultuous shit is fucking mind-blowing, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. You have this amazing ability to move through these terrible, terrifying, horrible, horrendous situations. And then you continue to appear like cool, calm, and collected. It's like if somebody had just survived the most terrible shit and they're still walking around like cool, like a spy in a fucking movie. Like you know what I'm saying? Where they like go in and then they like fight all the bad guys or what the fuck ever, and then they're just like next scene just sitting at a coffee shop like I'm not drawing from an actual movie. Girl, you just gonna have to, if you get it, you get it, okay? The point is that you experience this crazy shit. You have all of this shit that's thrown at you, all of this shit that you go through. You handle it, and then you just kind of move on to the next. Your ability to maintain that peace and to maintain your composure is like crazy. And I'm not talking about ignoring your feelings and emotions and blah, blah, blah. So you get through this terrible shit, and then the way that you are blessed, something about your appearance makes people feel very upset. And it makes people feel like how you appear to the world, it makes people feel upset, and it makes them feel like what you've been through couldn't have been that bad. Because if what you went through was really as bad as you said that it was, then you wouldn't be here. So it's a little like, do you hear that like undermining? Do you hear that like undermining? I kind of want to say like condescending, but not really condescending, like undermining your strength. No, I think that that person in my collective is lying, because if the person in my collective really went through what they said that they went through, then how the hell could they still be alive? No, I think that person in my collective is lying, because if that person in my collective really went through what they went through, then why would they still be doing this? Why would they have made that choice? How could they have done that? How could they, you know what I'm saying? People being like, I refuse to believe your story because of how you ended up, or because of how you look, or because of how you presented yourself, or whatever. They're like, I'm not buying it. The reason why this is so relevant is because these people, not only are they gathered for the feast that God, the universe, whatever is preparing for you, not only are they gathered, but, and this beautiful message comes from my father who is dead. It's so weird having your dad as an ancestor, because his spirit is so unique and youthful and just black as hell. and so there's a phrase, and the phrase is called like flipping the script. And so when I was like getting messages for this, that's what came through. He's about to flip the script on him. And then I was laughing because I was like, thank you so much, Dad, for your input. You know, sometimes for those of you who are like psychic mediums, sometimes you'll say a phrase or you'll think something and you just have to laugh because like that's something that such and such person would say, and like that's how you know that it's that specific ancestor that's talking to you or helping you or whatever. So God is flipping the script on these people in the best way. Well, not the best way for them. God is flipping this script in a way where it's like, oh, what my collective did was so easy. What my collective did was so simple. If my collective could do it, anybody could do it. Perfect. Here's your opportunity. We're flipping the script, meaning we're reassigning the roles. So, and this is not really happening. It's not like a Freaky Friday thing where you guys are trading places. It's like it's like the show is being recast. So it's like, because first, okay, I'm going to get into the cards a little bit, but I'm not fully getting into them yet. We have the Devil, the Five of Swords, the Shaman, the Medicine Healer. That's the same card. And then the Four of Swords. So when we're talking about the Devil, we're talking about appearances, we're talking about reputation. This is Capricorn energy. Hold on, let me just check the live chat, make sure that there's nothing there. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys for liking the video, by the way. So, all right. There's a public image there's a reputation, there's a being known, right? That's Capricorn energy, 10th house energy. How are we known? Public reputation. I just repeated myself. Who gives a shit? Let's move on. So there's that vibe. And I feel like these particular people were people of power. These particular people, whether it's your teachers, your professors, if it's like in a school setting, it's your bosses, if it's in a work setting, it's the popular girls in school, if it's in some sort of like social setting, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's something where these people were cast, quote unquote, in a way where they were the ones who were, quote unquote, on top in the quote unquote desirable position. So it looked like the title of this girl, I might have to change this to the title being like appearances are deceiving or something. Because appearance wise, it looked like they're just continuing to get more success. And for some of you in the collective, you could have felt really upset because these people wronged you. How are these people wronging me? And they're still getting all of this success whole time I'm trying to work hard to keep my shit together and grow and evolve and all of this stuff. I think that within my collective, you guys are people who have a specific vision for yourselves and a vision for your life. And when we're working so hard towards our goals and our desires, we can kind of get lost in the middle of the journey, which there's nothing wrong with that, but we can get so lost focusing on where we're going that we're not acknowledging our growth and our expansion. So you guys are expanding like crazy and you guys are growing and you're healing and you're doing all of these great, amazing things. So you guys are getting results, maybe just not the results that you want to see. So you're working diligently, moving towards the results that you want to see, going, why am I not getting the public recognition, the reward, the results that I'm wanting to see? Why am I not getting these things? But these other freaking people, not my stomach growling. Okay, we're gonna get off of here and eat. Not right now, but we're not gonna be on here very long. Okay. So why am I not getting the recognition or the reward whole time they are? Should I just order food right now? Let me see. We'll see. Because this message is kind of going long. Should I order some food right now? Okay, I'm going to open the app, and then if I decide to order food, then it'll be there. Okay, so why am I not getting the success that I want, the things that I want? Because the devil also can represent like material stuff, blah, blah, blah. But these people are. How are these people moving up in their career? How are these people getting raises? How are these people getting blah, 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 blah? Like, how are these people doing this and this and this? So it's like if it was a movie, if it was a play, whatever, they were cast in the role of the successful person, the wealthy person, the person who's getting all of the recognition and the reward and blah, blah, blah. And you were cast in this role of like the person who's not seen, the person who feels overlooked, the person who is falling through the cracks, the person who isn't getting what they want to get or going where they want to go or whatever. And it's just like, why does this keep happening to me or whatever, right? So that's the way that things have been. So when we say that the script is being flipped, it's not that you're taking their place because you don't actually want to be in their place. It's that you're going to get true success and true recognition and true reward. And their success and their recognition and their reward, which was built on unstable ground, was built with shitty fucking material. If it was the story of the three little piggies, you're building a brick house going, how is that pig's house done already? I can't believe they have a full house. I only have one wall up. Whole time, that other pig has an entire house, yeah, but it's fucking made of straw. Yeah, that other pig has, oh my God, girl. A couple weeks ago, I did a episode on my podcast, and it was about the interpretation of dreams. And in my interpretation of dreams, I was being attacked by a white man. It was relevant culturally, and he was calling me a pig. And then I had another dream while I was still sleeping. There was a pig, and I was praying over the pig, and I could feel the energy and the spirit of God. And I was like, what the fuck is going on with these pigs, girl? I'm not really a pig girl, like. And now we're having this analogy of pigs. It's just a full circle moment. It just is. And I'm going to accept it for what it is. So anyway, just go listen to my podcast if you haven't already. It's very good. So you're over here building a brick house that's going to be sturdy, that's going to last the test of time, that a big bad wolf couldn't just come and blow away. They have a house. Oh my God, why do they have this freaking house? But their house is made of straw. Is their straw house going to withstand the test of time? No. So you're getting to a point in your journey, my collective, where your house is ready. We're continuing with the little piggy references, okay? Your brick house is just about done. So while your brick house is being finished up and you're moving into your brick house, well, here comes the big bad wolf right on schedule. And the big bad wolf, I guess, in this loosely based scenario is God. And this is what I'm talking about by flipping the script, where these people are calling in situations. And the reason why they're calling in these situations is because of their energy. Oh, that was such a good message. Okay, give me a second. Put a pin in that. The reason why these people are calling in all of these energies and these experiences are because of how shitty their energy is. Not like on a soul level, but just how shitty their energy is, how low their vibration is. The things they talk about, the things they focus on, the beliefs that they have. They're superficial ass people. They would rather build a house of straw because it's easier. They don't care about the materials. They just want a house so that they can tell the next person that they have a house. Look at me, I have a house. You know what I'm saying? Whole time, do you really have a house though? Like you have a house, but your house is made of straw. So do you really have a house? Like if it rains, do you have a house? Like if there's a heavy wind, do you have a house? Like do you really have a house? Like you have a house, but do you really have a house? You are you feeling me? You know what I'm saying? So these people are about to realize that they don't really have a house. And for some of you, these people really aren't going to have a pot to piss in. Do you understand what I'm saying? No, I'm sorry. That was funny. No, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. I am that bitch and I ate that little bit. Okay. So they're calling in situations and scenarios where they're going to be exposed as fuck. They're exposed to the elements, girl. Because while they were sitting in their straw house and they were talking shit about you, while you were brick by brick by brick building your shit, working on your shit, while they were focused on you instead of focused on genuinely and authentically trying to build a house that was going to last and be sustainable for them. because they were so focused on you and what you were doing, weren't minding their own business, weren't minding their own vibration, they don't even see that there's a storm coming. They don't even see that there's a storm coming. You understanding what I'm saying? So when the storm rolls in, when the big bad wolf rolls in, it doesn't really fucking matter. You guys are following me. They're realizing as the rain is pouring into their house is getting all fucking, the straw gets soggy. It don't fucking matter, girl. That house is crumbling down. The reputation that was built on fake ass behavior is crumbling down. The reward, the recognition, the accolades that was built off of being a fake ass bitch, being disingenuine, lying to people, being whoever they thought that the next person needed them to be, wanted them to be, so that they could get ahead, saying whatever they needed to say to get somebody off their back instead of being real, instead of being raw, instead of being honest, instead of being vulnerable. All of that shit crumbling because it's a straw house. You got all of this shit. I don't care if it's money, jobs, romantic partners, friends, the relationships that you have built on lies. The storm is coming. This is a straw fucking house. And you, my collective, have been brick by brick by brick by brick by brick building this fucking house. Sometimes going, why, God, do you have me building this fucking brick house? If I was building a house made out of straw, then my house will be done. If I was taking the path that they were taking, if I was behaving like them, if I was talking like them, if I was doing the things that they were doing, then I would have a house. I would already have a house. I could have 5 fucking houses. But you're building your little brick house. You're doing your little thing. You're following your inspired guidance. The call isn't out there at all. It's inside of you. So this is a relationship that you have with your inner being. I don't have a relationship with God where I say, Master, what would you have me do? I don't have that relationship. If you do, that's fine. If other people do, that's okay. Everybody's worthy of love. I don't have that relationship. But I do have a relationship with my inner being. I do have a relationship with myself on a soul level. I do believe that my inner being knows where exactly I am in relation to my desires and is always guiding them to me, period, point blank. That is what I believe, and that is what I practice, and that is what I embody more of every single day. So you've got this relationship to yourself on a soul level. You've got this relationship to your inner being. Hi, Marie. Hi, sweet pea. This makes so much sense. Thank you. I did eat. Did you reply that to the part where I was like, I am the bitch and I ate a little bit? Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. Just wanted to check into the comments. Thank you for commenting. Also, if you're watching the replay, you can comment and I'll respond. Anyway, so you're building your brick house, brick by brick by brick by brick by brick. Now, the storm is coming in. Your brick house is just about finished. You're moving into your brick house while the storm rolls in and that straw house starts to fucking disintegrate, starts to crumble. Guess who's sleeping in the rain? And in your beautifully crafted brick home, guess who's dry? That's what I mean when I say the scripts are being flipped. You're not moving into a straw house. You're not behaving how they behave. You're not going to have the life that they have. You're going to have the life that they pretended to have. You're going to have it for real. You're going to have the rewards, the recognition, the accolades, the everything. And this is something that's coming in now. The scripts are being flipped. So the people who sat in that straw house and looked at you building your brick house and said, you're dumb for using bricks. And y'all gotta be on your Zoom with this. You really gotta be decoding this metaphor that I'm using here. Whatever choices and decisions that you were making, you're dumb for not going to college. You're dumb for not going to graduate school. You're dumb for not getting this degree. You're dumb for not taking this path. You're dumb for not behaving in this way. You're dumb for not blah, 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 blah. You should have done what I did. If you had just done what I told you to do, then you wouldn't be in this situation. They sat in their straw house, talked shit about you for using bricks. Well, if I was in the collective, then I would have used straw. Because if they use straw, then they could have this house by now. And they'd be comfortable like I am. But look at them out there in the sun. No shade or nothing. So these people ridiculed you, talked shit about you, basically had no compassion for what you went through, your life experience. And now they are powerfully being given the opportunity to be put in your shoes. Because I feel like there is a similarity between you two people, kind of like, the empath and the narcissist are two responses to abuse, two different responses to abuse. We're not going to get into it too much. I think that there's a difference between being an empath and having clairsentience, which is having the psychic intuitive gift of tapping into how people feel and what they're experiencing. And then there is being somebody who is empathic in a way that is toxic because they don't know how to create boundaries between them and other people, and they have become hyper focused on how other people feel and what other people need in order to feel safe. And the only way they know how to feel safe is by managing the reactions and responses by other people. And they manage the reactions and responses by other people by moving in a specific way and like pattern recognition and trying to anticipate how somebody is going to respond. Doesn't that sound like I'm describing a narcissist? Because it's the same thing. We're not going on a tangent about being worthy of love or anything like that, because we're not talking about these concepts to shame them, but we're just genuinely talking about the root causes and issues of these things, right? So I'm just going to leave that there. What's my point? My point is that, what the hell is my point? I don't know why I went on that tangent. Whatever. Go to the last thing that you remember talking about. So there's, what the hell was the last thing that I talked about? Not my brain going blank. Okay, whatever. So the script is getting flipped, where you're now the person who has the success, the accolades, the whatever, and they are now the people, oh yes, because, okay, you guys have similar stories. Maybe you have similar experiences, but you chose to respond to those experiences and stories in different ways. They're telling me that Vine, got a pimple, cover that shit up with a peace sign, right? Experience a trauma, pretend like it didn't happen. Get my feelings hurt, pretend like it doesn't matter. Be offended, pretend like I don't give a shit, right? There is an incongruence meaning something's not in alignment, not in integrity. There's an incongruence between how these people present themselves and how they genuinely feel. So you ask them what's going on with them, I'm fine. You ask them how they're doing, they're good. They have a house, but it's made out of straw. They're doing good, but on the inside, they're not doing good. So they're building all of this quote unquote success, gathering all of these quote unquote accolades. It's 111 where I am now in California. They're gathering all of these accolades and blah, blah, blahs. But are they tending to themselves genuinely and authentically? Are they actually focused on what they need? No. Because somebody who was attuned to themselves, meaning they had an awareness of how they feel and what they need. If somebody was attuned to themselves, excuse me if you hear my mom passing by my window, my room. If somebody was attuned to themselves, they would know, well, I'm going to need more shelter than straw, because isn't that just obvious? Well, thinking about the weather and thinking about the seasons and thinking about blah, 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 blah. Because these people have not been focusing on their inner world, tending to their inner world, tending to their emotions. Instead, they've been focused on superficial bullshit. That's the devil card that we pulled. They've been focusing on superficial bullshit because that's the easy thing to do. That's the easy route to take. That's the quick way to get it, right? Pretend like you don't give a fuck. Pretend like you don't care. Hashtag unbothered, whatever. So they've been pretending and lying and not being honest on their journey to success. But just because it's like faking it until you make it only gets you so far. In manifestation, energy doesn't lie. So you can fake it till you make it and manifest a couple things, right? You can tap into the vibration of your desire by faking it until you make it. You'll get a couple things. But as long as that story you're telling yourself that you're not good enough is still running rampant in your fucking mind, that's a hole in your energy. You're manifesting something from that vibe. You're manifesting something from that place. As long as you're still telling yourself the story that you'll never measure up because you never dealt with that shit, because you never healed that shit, because you never took the time to learn how to identify that shit. By the way, I have a course that will help you do all of these things. It's linked in the bio. It's called the Release, Reconnect, and Recognize course. It's excellent. Anyway, I also have a free offer to help you identify these things. And there's a meditation in it that's from my course. It's a very generous free offer. So just check the description. It's very good stuff. Anyway, okay. Because you never took the time to figure out and handle your shit, you're still manifesting from those bad feeling ass places. This is why people can win the lottery and lose it. This is why people can get the success and then get fired. This is why people can get all of the whatever things and then quote unquote fail. Because there's an incongruence in their energy. If you want to manifest a certain lifestyle, you want to manifest a certain experience, there needs to be a congruence between what you're thinking, what you're saying, and how you're behaving. And in order to accomplish that congruence, you've got to handle all that bad feeling shit. You've got to heal that shit. And if this message is for you, you've been healing that shit. And my offers just make it really, really easier and faster. So you're welcome. But you and my collective have been healing and moving through that shit. So it looked like, to the untrained eye, that you were wasting your time. It looked like, to the untrained eye, that you weren't growing and expanding, that you weren't doing anything. Because what you were doing, the moves you were making, the choices you were making, they didn't look traditional. They didn't look like everyone else's. It's because you didn't want a straw fucking house. But maybe you didn't even know consciously that you didn't want a straw house. It's like in your soul knows that it did not come here for a straw fucking house life. On a soul level, you're royalty. On a soul level, you are rating opulence and grace. On a soul level, you know that you have come here for more. You know that you have come here for more wealth. You know that you have come here for more. You know that you've come here to experience more, to live more, to embody more, etc., etc., etc. And what that means is that on a soul level, you really have this strong understanding. It's kind of like, I'm not here to waste any time. Your soul already knows that a straw house is a waste of your fucking time. So again, we're going back to the power of your soul. There's a difference between you and whoever these people are or this person is. There's a difference between where y'all come from. I'm hearing that lyric from Drake where he says, the only thing you got is some years on me. Man, fuck you and your time difference. So for some of you, these people could have been older than you, significantly older than you, older siblings, older cousins, like, you know, people in like positions of power, whatever, who are telling you this is what you're supposed to do, this is how you're supposed to do it. And your soul is like, no, this is not for me. No, this is not the route that I'm going to take. No, we don't want to do this. Whole time, on a soul level, you knew the truth. Whole time, on a soul level, you knew what route to take. Whole time, on a soul level, you knew how to get there faster than they did. They're just better at faking it. They're just better at presenting themselves as the authority instead of being the authority. You are learning to be the authority. And on a soul level, you have this understanding that you are the authority. I used to joke and tell people, I'm older than you. I don't know. I don't think I actually told it to them out loud, like in my mind, like, I'm older than you. Respect your elders. I am your elder. I'm the youngest person here, but I'm the oldest person here. It's really fun. It's really fun for me to talk to people who are much older than me, in particular, men who are much older than me, like they're little kids, because all these bitches is my sons. Because it's true. You're really good at presenting yourself as an authority who knows more and who has done more and who is more. But the fact of the matter is that I'm the one who's wiser. So in the collective, you're the one who's wiser. And that brings us to the second card in the spread here. In the Five of Swords, the deck that I'm using, girl, I don't remember the name of it. Is it the Goliath Tarot? It's an amazing deck and I love it. Yes, it's the El Goliath Tarot deck. You can look it up. You can buy it, whatever. But if you want to see the card, you can just look it up. I love it. So the Five of Swords shows two scorpions. And it's raining. Girl, shut up. Shut the hell up. I did not, I was just channeling. I wasn't paying attention to all of the fucking symbolism and shit. Why is it raining in this card, y'all? If you have the deck, then you know the card. But if you don't, then like look it up. It's raining, I promise. So it's two scorpions and they look like they're like battling, like they're fighting, right? And it's raining. So one of the scorpions appears to be, it's almost as if they're like on a hill. They're on some piece of land where there's like an incline. It looks like rock. Whatever. The black scorpion is at the top of the hill. And the black scorpion is significantly larger in size. So the black scorpion is bigger. The black scorpion is higher. And then there's a white scorpion. The white scorpion is lower on the hill, as if the white scorpion is below the black scorpion. And the white scorpion, obviously, is significantly smaller than the black scorpion. And then if you continue to look at the card, there are 5 swords. It's the 5 of swords, right? There are 3 white swords at the bottom of the image, and there are 2 black swords at the top of the image. So naturally, I'm going to associate the color of the swords with the colors of the scorpions. And if we do that, then the large black scorpion, the one that appears to be more intimidating, more powerful, more impactful, the black scorpion is associated with 2 black swords. And the white scorpion, who appears to be significantly smaller, who appears to be at a lower ground, who appears to be, for all intents and purposes, at a disadvantage, this white scorpion is associated with 3 white swords. What does that mean to you? Who do you think is going to win this war? Who do you think is going to win this battle? And then we can get further into the symbolism of the cards. Whites typically represent purity. Whites can represent... This is not about race. This is not about race. I mean, even though that actually that concept is racist, but we're not going to get into that. We're just going to focus on the symbolism. Whites will represent purity, being the hero, angelic, what the hell ever, and black will represent impurity, wrong, bad. I don't like the symbolism now that I've said it, but it is helping us receive our message, so we're going to go with it. The 5 of Swords is a card about defeat. The 5 of Swords is a card about losing. In traditional tarot, when I was first introduced to it, I was told the 5 of Swords is a card of winning at all costs. But when you've done absolutely anything to win and you've won, do you actually feel victorious? And I believe that that interpretation powerfully aligns with the whole message that I have just shared here today. So we've got this card of defeat. And I think that it's pretty clear that the white scorpion has more power, even though the white scorpion looks like it's at a disadvantage. You, in my collective, if this message is resonating with you, you are the white scorpion. Shut up, girl. Goliath. David and Goliath. Girl. And wait a damn minute. And what? You really did that. You really did that. Jesus Christ, you really did that. Because I started this talking about the Bible. And then, because I don't always say the name of this deck. And then I just heard Goliath. And I was like, Goliath is the name of the deck. And then I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, it is Goliath. And then we're talking about appearances. And then David and Goliath. Like, you saw it. You saw my entire train of thought as it happened. So The story of David and Goliath in the Bible, for those of you who are unfamiliar, I don't really know it. I'm going to give you Nat Hughes' version, okay? This is the Natalie Hughes rendition of the Bible. This is the Nat Hughes gospel. The story of David and Goliath, from my recollection, is a story where there's two people. There's David and there's Goliath. Is Goliath a lion? I feel like Goliath is an animal, or Goliath is a giant. Or maybe David is the giant. No, I think that David wins. It doesn't matter. So David and Goliath, they're going head to head. God tells one of them. No, it's hilarious because I don't know who is who. God tells one of them, the one who's on the side of the Lord, okay? David and Goliath going head to head. One of them looks bigger than the other. It looks like, you know what, girl? No, let me stop playing around in Google. Oh my God. Hi, Journey. I love you too. Goliath is a giant. Goliath was the giant. Thank you. See, and God is so good to me. God is so good to me. Because I was going to Google it, but then I went and came to the comments. Love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello. Thank you for watching, and thank you for giving me that. So, boom. David and Goliath. Goliath is the giant, allegedly. I'm just kidding. So, Goliath is the giant. It looks like David is going to lose based on appearances. But God tells David, God's like, I got your back, David. So God and David are having a kiki, because this is the Nat Hughes version. So, you know, God and David are having a kiki. And God is talking to David. And God is like, listen, girl, I know that Goliath looks whatever, but I got your back. Have faith in me, and you will not perish. And I had to put that because it sounds like something that would be in the Bible, right? Right. So after David hears that from God, David is like, okay, I can do this. And so David and Goliath are fighting because of some bullshit, okay? And David wins. I don't remember enough of this story, but that's all that we need, okay? That's all that we need. And truthfully, you probably could have gathered that that was the conclusion I was going to come to when I first mentioned the story. But that's okay, because I feel like we had fun. I feel like we had fun on the journey to that interpretation. I enjoyed that. And I hope that you did too. Thank you for laughing in the live chat. So, David and Goliath. You are David. Okay, Queen? You're David. And whoever the fuck this person is, whatever the fuck this situation is, it's Goliath. It appears to be bigger. It appears to be stronger. It appears blah, 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 blah. But what is the main theme of this reading? Appearances can be deceiving. Your appearance as David is deceiving. Your appearance as the little piggy building the brick house is deceiving. Your appearance as the person who is taking the route less traveled, the path less beaten. Your appearance as the trailblazer was deceiving. People thought you were weak. People thought you were taking the easy way out. People thought you were lazy. People thought you weren't doing blah, 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 blah. People had a lot to say. They had you in the first half, David. But now the script is being flipped. And because of your faith, because of the power of your soul, because of your vibration, because of the work that you have done, and it's not about physical work, although it could be physical work. It's the spiritual work, it's the mental work, it's the emotional work. It's the labor you did that counts. You guys are efficient. That's what we are. We're efficient. Okay? I'll work hard, quote unquote hard, if I believe that it's an efficient use of my time. If I believe that doing something is going to support me in getting an end result, fine, I will do that thing. I will overcome the challenges, I will make it work. The second that I come to the realization that something is not an efficient use of my time, LOL. You're out of your fucking mind if you think you're going to get me to do something that is not an efficient use of my time. And that's just how I live. Okay? So I feel like if this message is for you, then that's going to resonate. And either you live like that or you are becoming somebody who lives like that. Right? Right. Okay. So you did the work that actually needed to be done in order to get the long lasting results. So, what's happening to Goliath? Goliath is getting his shit rocked. That's the Matthew's rendition of the Holy Bible. Goliath is getting his shit rocked. And maybe I will translate the Bible one day. Oh, that's so funny. Okay. So the people whose success was built on lies, their shit's being washed away because they were on some snake shit. And the word greed was coming through. And I want to talk about what they mean when they say the word greed, because I think that greed can be kind of loaded. So I don't want to just put that out there, because we can have a lot of shame associated with like money, with receiving and different things like that. So when we're talking about greed, we're talking about what happens when we are seeking out and receiving from a place of not good enough, from a place of unworthiness, from a place of trying to prove something about ourselves. When we're doing that, then we just feel like a bottomless pit. Because it doesn't matter how many degrees I get, how many accolades I get, how much money I get. If I am trying to receive enough money to make me feel worthy of love, there's not enough money in the world that can make me feel worthy of love. There's not enough success in the world that can make me feel like I belong. There's not enough hookups in the world that can make me feel like I'm good enough, like I'm worthy, like I deserve to be loved, like I'm safe and secure. Because those things, the recognition, the reward, approval from other people, that's not actually what you need to experience emotional fulfillment. If you want to experience emotional fulfillment, you got to tend to your emotions. That's what we're talking about. So there are people who were greedy, meaning they're bottomless pits, have to do more, have to get more, have to blah, 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 not coming from their soul. Not because that's who they are on a soul level, but because they're trying to get feelings of good enough and worthy and blah, blah, blah from reaching goals and sleeping with people and whatever, whatever, whatever. They're looking for the right things in all the wrong places. I think that's the phrase. So that's the greed that they're talking about. You connecting with your soul, connected to your soul, doing the work that you need to do, you're working smarter, not harder. And the reason why you're working smarter, not harder, even though it may not have looked like that, is because you were actually doing the work that needed to be done. What do we have here? We have the shaman, the medicine healer. We really already talked about that. That's who you are. It's what you've come to give. And then we have the Four of Swords, the sacred space. And the Four of Swords in the Goliath Tarot is a little bunny rabbit, and he is surrounded by roses. I love this card so much. He looks kind of scared in the eyes to me. So I feel like you guys are definitely focusing on healing. A message some of you need to hear is that you're protected. Obviously you're protected, but one of the reasons why I really, really feel that way is because the bunny is surrounded by roses. And roses are always going to symbolize protection and love because, duh, but also because they have thorns. You know what I'm saying? Love because duh, and protection because thorns. So you're surrounded by love and you're surrounded by protection. And in this Four of Swords cards, the four swords are white. And so there's a connection between the white four of swords and the white bunny in the four of swords card and the white scorpion with the three of swords. Are you feeling me? Yes. So you're winning this battle. You're overcoming. You're winning this war. And I think that that's, oh, yes. So I was saying this phrase the other day. Hilarious. He got rocked, literally. Was Goliath killed with a rock? Tell me. Slingshot with a rock to the forehead. Hilarious. Yes. Goliath got his shit rocked, literally. Oh my God. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this. This is Naf Hughes and Journey's version of the Holy Bible. Thank you. Okay. So, where was I in my story? Whatever, just pick up the last thing that you said. You're healing. You're safe. You're protected. Oh, yes. Battle versus war. I was saying for a couple of days. This just like to myself, I play around with ideas, thoughts, whatever, talking to my guides. If people ever feel like they got one over on me, boy, I showed her, I really blah, 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 blah. That just means that we're not done. That just means that we're not finished. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you ever, it's a really dangerous thing to do. It's a terrible thing to do. It's a horrible thing to do. I could give you a list of people who have made that mistake. I'm letting you know. In a world of infinite possibilities and unlimited choices, the one thing I suggest you do not do is ever allow yourself to be in a position where you feel like you went to war with me and you won. I just okay? And that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. That's just who I am. I am a Mars ruled woman. Mars rules wisdom and war and strategy. I was literally made for battle. My mother's maiden name is battle. Like, it's not possible for you to come against me and win. That don't happen. In what world? None of them. In a world of infinite possibilities, in a universe of infinite dimensions and realms, there is not a single one where you can come up against me and win, period. It doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. It's not possible, okay? I just wasn't made for that. So you should never allow yourself to think, wow, I really got one over on her. What's that song? That song by Kelly Rowland. She says, that little shit back then, I let that slide. That didn't get by me. It's like that. Like that's the vibe. So I was thinking that to myself over the past couple of days. You tricked yourself into thinking that you won that war with me, but really, we just weren't finished. If you ever feel like, I got that bitch, I got one over on her, that means you will see me again. They're saying, I'll be back. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You will see me again. I promise you that. Because I am a warrior. Okay? Like Wendy Wu. You know what I'm saying? So, they may have won a battle or two, but they will not win the war. That's the census. That's what we've been talking about. Me, guides, angels, ancestors, whatever, over the past couple of days. You may have won that battle, that victory is short lived because I'm going to win this war. So that's the energy and that's the vibe. And the reason why this is relevant is because you've got this little adorable bunny. You haven't seen the last of me. Exactly. My last name is Rose, so definitely protection and love. That's so awesome. Oh my god, that's literally so cool. I love that. I love the last name Rose. Like, I was just watching a little bit of Lexus. What's that song? What's not the song, girl. They were called the Roses, I think, weren't they? Schitt's Creek. Y'all know that television show? Anyway, lovely last name. Love that. So powerful. Okay. So, this little bunny looks scared. So, you're moving into a period of rest. You're moving into a period of relaxation. You're moving into a period where you're understanding that it's safe to relax. They're singing this Nicki Minaj lyric, one of her songs. She says, "You could put your gun down. You can have fun now." The war is over. Oh my god. And hasn't that been like a fucking meme? A meme, a TikTok sound gives me chills every single fucking time. War is over. You guys know what I'm talking about? It's like from a Christmas song, I think. It doesn't matter. So, war is over. The name of this card, the title of the Four of Swords in this deck is The Sacred Space. So now it's time, little white bunny rabbit, for you to learn to rest, for you to learn to relax, for you to recoup, for you to heal. You do such a great job of healing other people. It's time for you to allow yourself to be poured into. And then we have the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck, which is the meteor shower. And as you are resting, as you are relaxing, as you are recuperating, and you are allowing yourself to heal and feel safe again in the world, feel safe again in relationships. If you experience betrayal, interpersonal trauma, you're going to be getting out there into the world, forming new relationships, learning how to trust people again, learning how to open up to people again, learning how to be in community again. If you experience betrayal at your job, you're going to be getting into work environments where you feel safe and secure, stable, taken care of, like you can relax. So, okay. Now we're going to pull a couple more cards. Should I pull a couple more cards? I'm having so much fun. Okay, just a couple. I know I've told you before, but I absolutely love your laughter and your intellect. Thank you. I'm blushing. This is so sweet. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Oh my God. I felt that in my heart. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love to be loved and appreciated for who I am. Thank you. Okay. So, getting some more messages for my collective. I feel like we want to talk just a little bit more about this success that's coming, because we put queens in the thumbnail because there's a vibe of leveling up. So we know that this next level is peace. Girl, I was going to say abundance. Then we've got the Seven of Wands, which is the determined otter. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hold on. One of the cards fell. It was two of the cards. We got the King of Wands, the Knight of Cups. So it was the Seven of Wands, the King of Wands, the Knight of Cups, the Magician, the Five of Pentacles, the Mask. Okay. They're talking about Okay, they're not talking about your level up first. They're talking about the scripts that are being flipped, right? Oh shit. Okay. So, oh, this is good, girl. Okay. I gotta stop letting them talk to me and start talking to you. So let me tell you what I'm seeing. Seven of Wands, King of Wands, Knight of Cups, the Magician, the Five of Pentacles, and the Mask, which in this deck, the Mask, it says the Hidden Wolf. It's literally like a sheep clothing, sheep overlay, and there's a wolf clearly inside of the sheep clothing with blood dripping down the face. And then in the Devil, which is called the Master of Lies, it's a goat with blood dripping from its mouth too. And then the Five of Pentacles is horses that are at the top of this hill. They've been starved. They're very skinny. You can see the like lining of their ribs, and it kind of looks like they're being called up into heaven. Oh shit. And then there's kind of like these like birds that are like circling them. And I heard the word vultures, but they don't really look like vultures, but I heard the word vultures. Holy shit. So, okay. Ooh, girl, this is good. They were like, no, baby, you titled this, it's not revenge, it's justice. We're going to talk about this justice. And let us talk about this justice real quick. So we have the Seven of Wands. And girl, I feel like I should order food, but it's like I'm not hungry, but my stomach is grumbling. So if I order food, then I'll be like more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, girl. Seven of Wands. You did something bold, courageous. You stood up for yourself. You took a stand. You, whatever, right? You did your own thing. You listened to your soul. That's what the Seven of Wands is talking about. The King of Wands, you're a leader. The Knight of Cups in this deck is, it says, the brother of the wild. And it looks like a dog wolf, like a dog wolf dog. It doesn't look like the wolf in the Mask card. The wolf in the Mask card looks more malicious. It has teeth that are very sharp. Wow, Grandma, what sharp teeth you have. The better to eat you with, my dear. Okay, like that's the vibe that we're getting from the Mask card. But the Knight of Cups, it's like a dog, but I also just get like wolf vibes. So anyway, so you're seeing this dog, and it's like he's howling, and there's like smoke coming out of his howl, almost as if like he's outside and it's cold. He's howling at the moon type shit, right? But the smoke that's coming out of his mouth, you see in the smoke characters, right? And the characters that you see are a whole bunch of fucking wolves, and it looks like they're running towards the whatever would be to the right of the card, right? Something that I could compare this to, if you've seen Moana, in the song of the ancestors, when her grandma is like, who are you? And she's like, this is who I am, this is who we are, I'm the daughter of the village chief. We're descended from voyagers who found their way across the world, sailed their way across the world. I don't know the part. They call me, right? Yes. That part. And she's like on her little boat or whatever. And then you see the ghosts of all of her ancestors that are like surrounding her. And they're like kind of like waving at her, like acknowledging her, like, we're inside of you. Basically, girl, it's very similar to that. So these fucking dogs are like running. The energy and the vibe that I get is just like, oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to that Goliath. I'm sorry to that Goliath. I'm sorry to that Goliath, because there's a pack of wolves. You know what I'm saying? A pack of wolves, and they are on your ass. And I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to that Goliath. Honestly, truthfully, that's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that this person, whoever it is that you have, oh, that's really, really good. So some of you feel guilty. One of the reasons why things hadn't happened to the people who have harmed you and hurt you is because of, oh, hold on, let me timestamp this again. Like, girl, please stop playing games. So the reason why I timestamped this here, you might have to go back a couple minutes, but now we're talking about justice. Okay. So you shifted something. Oh, yes. Okay. Sorry. Let me focus my brain, focus my mind. Some of you feel guilty about justice. One of the reasons why things didn't happen to certain people is because you didn't want to. Like, you're incredibly protective. You're a protective person, especially with the shaman here. You're a powerful healer. And so some of you were protecting the people who hurt you, because if something bad happened to them, then you would feel guilty, you would feel responsible, you would feel bad. Revenge is wrong. We're just supposed to forgive. We're just supposed to let it go. Kind of like what we talked about at the very beginning of the video, right? Right. So one of the reasons why certain shit wasn't happening to people was because you were using your energy to protect people. And I know that it sounds so funny, but we can totally do this even if we're doing it like subconsciously. I'll give you an example. A couple years ago, a couple people really traumatized me, and a lot of them experienced consequences for their actions. Whoa. However, one of them did not. I mean, like, he kind of did, but he really didn't. Because I just felt like if I curse someone who's a man that I love, we will never get back together. I just feel like that would kill it. I just feel like you can't come back from that. I feel like you shouldn't come back from that. I feel like if you go as far to kind of like allow karma to be balanced, or what the fuck ever you want to call it, I just felt like, in my own Stockholm Syndrome way, I felt like if I didn't want anything bad to happen to him, because I still was holding out hope for us to be together, okay? Moment of vulnerability and honesty. So, because of that intention, because of that desire, it's so funny because over the past couple of months, I mean, technically over the past couple of years, but even more specifically over the past couple of months, as I've been detaching myself from his energy and from his vibe, whatever, yesterday I kind of put the final nail in the coffin, and my ancestors were like, I have been waiting. I have been waiting for the day to get in this man's ass. Okay, so it's like that vibe. It's exactly that vibe. Your ancestors are like, when my granddaughter lets me loose, when my grandchild gives me the okay, I'm literally seeing like horses waiting for a race to start. They're like on the fucking starting line. They're like so fucking antsy. They're like the second that my granddaughter is over you, the second that my granddaughter becomes indifferent towards you, boy, it's you and me. Because it's just kind of like, and doesn't that just make sense, right? If you still love these people, if you still have like an interest in their lives, if they get all of this like fucked up shit happening to them, that's gonna hurt you. You're gonna be sad and crying and, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to him and blah, 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 blah. Like, it's not an efficient use of our time. But the second that my child, the second that my granddaughter, the second that my great great niece lets this motherfucker go, it's me and him. And it's on sight. So I think that your energy, because you're either afraid of revenge, because a part of you feels like if something bad happens to them because of what they did to you, you're betraying them. You have been using your powerful ass energy to protect them. I admit, I still pray for him after everything. Yeah. And Journey, that totally makes sense. Yes, 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 yes. Goliath deserves it. Absolutely. I'm hollering. Good. I'm happy that you're having a good time too, like I am. They're so funny. I'm in his ass. You don't understand. And now they're playing that TikTok sound. It's like, he just ate my ass. He wanna switch. Except instead of like eating his ass, you're beating his ass. Okay. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. So, you want to work through that. You want to work through that. You're a significant person. You're an important person. You're an incredibly important person. There are consequences. When we hurt people who are significant and important, there are consequences. When people hurt you and they don't experience any consequences, what does that communicate? That you're not significant and you're not important. It's not about them. It's about you. You're somebody's daughter. You're somebody's granddaughter. You're somebody's great great grandchild. It doesn't matter if the person who hurt you and disrespected you is your family member. It doesn't fucking matter. You're my child and they were fucking wrong. So they are going to experience consequences for their actions, period. And there's no if and or buts about it. Because you deserve to be taken care of, and you deserve to be loved, and you deserve to be poured into, and you deserve to be supported, and you deserve to be safe, and you deserve to be protected, period. Point blank. So that's what time your ancestors are on. They're like, yeah, we can talk about the blessings later. First, I gotta tell you about the way. I gotta tell you about the way. The way I'm about to. So do you know that video? It was a viral video many years ago, and it's a group of black girls, and they're kind of like singing like a song, I guess, and they're like all in a line, and they're kind of like, I think they're like on a rock, which is fucking hilarious because of the whole conversation we just had about the scorpions on the rock, right? And so they're like all in line. And they're like going like in tune, and they're like they're basically describing how they're gonna like jump this girl. And they're like, and when she hit that bitch, I'ma stomp on that bitch, and when she stomp on that bitch, I'm sorry, this is so hilarious. Oh my God, no, this is so funny to me. This is so funny to me. So your ancestor, it's like tag yourself. They're like, that's me. They're like, that's me. The girl who's gonna stomp, that's me. The girl who's gonna sock her in the mouth, that's me. Like, So basically, your ancestors are like, we've been waiting for this day. Okay? We've been waiting for this day to fuck this person up, fuck these people up. Thank you for finally giving us the okay to give them what the fuck they deserve after everything that they did to you. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the vibe. And with the energy of the magician here, it is really important, right? The magician seems to be playing a flute. Like you call the shots here. It's your reality, it's your life. As long as you're going, no, that's okay. I'm not significant. I'm not important. People can hurt me and get away with it. People can torture me and get away with it. People can abuse me and get away with it. It's okay. I understand. They have their childhood experience and blah, blah, blah. As long as you're in that energy and that vibe, then like, okay, like, fuck. Like, we want to do so much. We want to do all of the things. But as long as you don't want to stand up for you, as long as you don't want justice, then our hands are tied. So it's kind of like untying their hands. That's what's happening. It's not revenge. It's not revenge. Earlier I tweeted and I was like, girls be like, I'm getting my revenge. But really it's just making the people who emotionally, mentally, and psychologically tormented them take accountability for their actions. Like, it's not revenge. It's about the fact that I'm a human being and that I matter and that how I'm treated matters. And when somebody matters, when somebody is important, how you treat them has consequences. Think about somebody who you love. It could be a child. Think about somebody who you admire, somebody who you care for, somebody you think the absolute world of. If that person had done that to them, if that person did what they did to you, to Beyonce, how would you respond? If that person did what they did to them, to your daughter, how would you respond? That's the one that activates me every single time. I think if this person did that to my daughter, if I was an ancestor, honestly, me, personally, just who I am, if I was an ancestor, all powerful spirit, not limited by this physical reality, you look at my great great granddaughter the wrong way and I'm fucking you up, personally. And that's just me. That's just me. So everybody has their own personality. But that's the vibe. That's the vibe. So you're loved and you're cherished and you're protected. And usually your temperament and your values and your ancestors will align. So that's one way that I kind of like get an idea. Because if I was an ancestor, I'd be fucking waiting. I'd be fucking waiting for me to be like, okay guys, go and get him. Oh bitch. Oh bitch. And we're seeing this because we literally got the Five of Pentacles and the Mask. This person's gonna be fucking barren. I have to clock back in, but I'm going to come back and watch the rest later. You made my day with this reading. Good. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. When you finish watching it, comment and let me know what you think. You don't have to, but I'd love to hear from you. Okay. So, this person's mask ripped off. Mask off. Fuck it. Mask off. I actually don't really know what that song is about, but when I was a freshman in college, I'm a woman of a lot of phrases. And one of the phrases that I had when I was in college was just singing that song. And I don't think that we ever, it was one of those phrases where we didn't really identify what it meant, but we would just say it. Maybe like, we don't have time to explain it. But anyway, that just is my own little full circle moment. So let's move on. We're going to take the mask off. And it's kind of like, the vibe of that TikTok sound is like, but isn't that your friend? Isn't that your friend? But that's your friend? But that's your friend? But it's more in the energy of like, no, but you're a big bad wolf. Oh my God, girl, shut up. The masks, the hidden wolf, and we were literally just talking about the three little pigs and the fucking wolf. How did it take me so long to realize? One part about reading tarot that's really fun is that you get to feel like that conspiracy theorist, just connecting the dots. Coincidence? I think not. Okay, so it's like, no, but you're the big bad wolf, right? 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 Because if you're really the big bad wolf, like you portray yourself to be, if you're really about that life, what did Beyonce say? Wear a white hoodie with the mask outside in case you forgot how we act outside. No, you're a big bad wolf, right? No, you don't give a fuck, right? No, you really don't care, right? So stand on that. Continue not caring. Your ancestors, and I originally pulled calling on my ancestors, and that's kind of like what's coming through. So that's what I'm going to keep saying. It could be your ancestors physically, like flesh. It could be your ancestors in the spirit, all of the above. It doesn't really matter. But your ancestors are on their ass. Like, no, 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 no. But you're a big bad wolf, right? So me showing up and fully manifesting, fucking terrifying would that be? Me showing up and fully manifesting at the foot of your fucking bed. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? You betray somebody, then a spirit that looks exactly like them is standing at the foot of your bed at night? No, but you're a big bad wolf, right? No, but you don't give a fuck, right? No, stand on that. No, stand on that. And it's kind of like pick on somebody your own size. No, 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 no. 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 Don't take it back now. Don't backtrack. No, be for real. No, no, let's be about it. No, no, show us. Show us. Demonstrate it for us. Because when you were treating my niece, when you were treating my daughter, when you were treating my granddaughter, when you were treating my great great granddaughter like shit, when you were disrespecting her, when you were talking shit about her, when you were kicking and making fun of and tormenting her, you were big and bad, right? So stay like that. I would love to see, please demonstrate your bigness and your badness for all of us. And by all of us, I just mean 2,000 of your closest ancestors. Simple, easy, small, really. I just mean a room full of spirits. And they're bringing their baddest bitch out. You know that TikTok sounds like, bring your baddest bitch. Bring your baddest bitch out. Your fucking baddest ancestors. Your baddest ancestors. Your most ruthless ancestors. No. No. Because you like to torment people, right? No. Because you like to play with people's emotions, right? I love to play with people's emotions. Great granddad, don't you like to play with people's emotions? I do love to play with people's emotions. Great 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 grandpa, do you like to play with people's emotions? I love to play with people's emotions. Holy shit. And it is, guys, because the birds represent ancestors for me. And it's literally these two horses at the top of this fucking mountain starving to death. Didn't I tell you at the beginning they're not going to have a pot to piss in? Didn't I tell you? And Hillary Duff, coming clean. Let the rain fall down. I'm coming clean. Period. These people are going to be exposed. Exposed. and who they truly are, how they truly behave, how they truly operate, all the shit that was going on behind closed doors, all that they were hiding behind this mask, pretending to be something that they're not. No, no, no. No. No, I don't think so. But thanks for trying. I don't think so. And with the energy of the King of Wands, I know that I talked about you being a leader, but I feel like this is like a leader in your lineage. A leader in your lineage. Like when I said bring your baddest bitch out, if y'all can see this, y'all got to look up King of Wands in the El Goliath Tarot, okay? It's this fucking, the glowing white stag. I knew I couldn't just say it's a deer. I couldn't just say, like, no, it just fucking powerful. It just looks ancient. It looks fierce. It looks strong. Your baddest bitch. Your baddest, strongest ancestors. Like, they're not fucking playing. So, I don't know what happened to you in my collective, but it was real bad. Because we literally have the first card that comes out is the devil, the master of lies. And then we literally have masks, the hidden wolf. So it was somebody who considered themselves to be a master manipulator. You a player, I love to play. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. The glowing white stag. Your baddest bitch is coming out from my collective. And your ancestor is like, yeah, babe. And this all started when you declared something. And that can happen in a lot of different ways. Some of you were praying. I'm hearing crying. You got to some sort of breaking point, tipping point, were inspired by something. We're just going to have to do another reading about the good things coming in, okay? Because we already been here for 2 hours. It's been a fun time, but we're going to wrap this up soon. But you declared something. You declared something when you were crying, when you were something, okay? You made a choice. You made a decision. I don't want this to happen anymore. I don't want to live like this anymore. These people can't treat me like this anymore. It could be something similar to me where I was just like, I don't want to hold all of these secrets in anymore. I don't want to pretend like it doesn't like bother me, or I don't want to just keep venting about it. I want to do something about it that's meaningful. I want there to be a record of it. I want it to be known. Like, you did something that basically, like, they're singing Beyonce, ring the alarm. I've been through this too long. And it's crazy because I literally have sirens in the title of this. So you did something. You rang some alarm. And your ancestors were like, finally, I've been waiting. And I feel like for some of you, if this was a relationship that happened over like a long period of time, like there were some times where, and this is taking on the perspective of like if your ancestors were watching you, like they were watching a movie, and they're like, okay, like, this is the moment. Like, this is the moment. Like, she's gonna say go right now. You know what I mean? So there were times and there were moments where they felt like you were gonna give them the okay, and then you really didn't. And they're like, okay. They're like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. They gave somebody a flat tire. They, like they did something like minimal. They're like, okay. Like, they didn't really fully unleash, but that is what it is. It is what it is. But now you have realized something, saw somebody's true colors. You stopped buying into this person's facade. So some of you, this person was really a wolf in sheep's clothing, where they positioned themselves as a victim. They positioned themselves as somebody who is like meek. They're saying meek mill. They positioned themselves as somebody who is like, oh, so humble. Oh, I'm always heartbroken. Oh, like, let's say you're in a relationship with them. Oh, the last relationship that I got out of, she really broke my heart, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that all people who say that are liars or anything like that. I'm talking about this person specifically. You will know if this is for you. They just position themselves as somebody who's like, oh, I really like got hurt or blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Like we talked about in the beginning of this, how they looked at you and they looked at your story and they discredited you, and they thought that you were lying, and they thought all of this other stuff about your journey. One of the reasons why they didn't believe you, or they projected that story onto you, was because that's their truth. So they're somebody who uses crying as manipulation to get things from other people. They're somebody who uses like a sob story to blah, blah, blah. So when they're seeing you sharing, when they're seeing you being vulnerable, they're like, I know what this is, right? And that's a one specific situation, scenario thing, not a blanket statement. Whatever. Okay, we're just not doing the pop psychology thing. Okay, let's move on. So this person, if this is resonating with you, you will have dealt with them being like, oh, like terrible things are happening, I just need help, blah blah blah. And so a part of you maybe was like seeing them do negative stuff, seeing them do harmful stuff, or experiencing the effects of them being harmful and like toxic and like rude and blah blah blah. And you're like, wait a second, like this is a really shitty behavior, like this is really not cool, or like this is really harmful. And then you're like going back and forth with yourself of like, no, like look at what this person's been through and like their childhood and blah blah blah. But then it's like, look at you and all the things that you've been through, and you didn't go around treating people like that. We can develop maladaptive coping mechanisms as a consequence of our lived experience. But the second that you come into the awareness that that is a maladaptive coping mechanism and that it's hurting you and hurting other people, you either make resolve to change it or you're choosing to stay the same. Period. And so this person is somebody who really victimized themselves to look a certain way or to get a certain reaction out of other people, out of you. Again, that devil card energy, just master of lies, snake type shit. And I think because of the way that this person portrayed themselves in that way, you really responded to that. Because why? Because you're a healer. Because you're somebody who cares for people. Because you're somebody who, if somebody comes to you and they're like, this thing is like terribly wrong, or like, I need help, or blah, 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 you want to help. That's who you are. When you see pain, you respond. That's who you are. And so you're responding to this person's pain, which is real. They're genuinely in pain. They just don't actually have an interest in healing it or changing it or whatever. So I think for a long time, you were trying to heal this person and help this person and support this person and all of this stuff. And then you realized, oh my God, this person doesn't actually want to heal. These people don't actually give a damn. Not their lying. Not the wolf in sheep's clothing. No. Like, what? What? And so I think as you actually realized, like, oh, this bitch a liar. Pathological. Like, oh, wait a second. You're committed to being a piece of shit. Oh, you find this to be acceptable. Not only do you find this to be acceptable, you find it to be good. you're under the impression that this is the best way to live life. Oh. And then they're singing Mariah Carey, it's a wrap. And I feel like at that moment, whenever you realize that, however you realize that, it just became a fucking wrap. Because you know that it's a nuanced thing. And if this is for you, you're a healer. 100% through and through, you're a healer. If you're somebody who was called to heal people and support people and help them. Oh my God, there's a fly in here. Isn't that crazy? Because the window is closed and everything. But anyway, let's move on. I forgot the last thing that I was saying. Oh yes, you're a healer. So there's a nuance there. There are people who behave in ways that are toxic and unhealthy. I'm that person, you're that person, we're all those people. We all learn unhealthy habits from our childhood and culture and blah, blah, blah. So you want to give people the grace to realize their mistakes and to change and to heal and to grow. So there's a balance between, oh, well, is this person just making this mistake as a consequence of their childhood? Or is this person intentionally harming people? And you're realizing that whoever this Goliath is, whoever these group of people are to you, I feel like it's going to resonate differently for different people, of course. You realize, oh, these people are not actually, oh, none of y'all give a shit. Oh, shit. Oh, you don't care at all. Oh, you're genuinely, like you're consciously choosing to be harmful and mean. And you're aware of the negative consequences that your actions have on others. And you don't give a shit? Oh no, like, and I'm not being dramatic and I'm not being funny. Like, I believe that that's your genuine reaction. And I think the second that you realize that, that's when you're like, oh no, I'm not fucking with you. And because you have that moment of, I'm not fucking with you, you removed the protection that you had over this person. Because I do really believe that strongly. Because you've got a strong protective energy. So the people that you love and the people that you care for, you just protect them naturally. Like, that's just who you are. So when you realized and when you genuinely cut yourself off from this person and you remove that protection, now all of the negative energy that they've been spewing and creating and all of this momentum that has been building, boom. It's just fucking manifesting. When I tell you some of these people are not going to have a pot to piss in, I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny. And that's why when I was talking about the Five of Pentacles and I said these horses are so starved and so skinny and it looks like the rays from heaven are coming down like they're about to pass away and the vultures are going to feast on them, I'm not joking. Somebody's mother may have something to do in the next coming Saturdays. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if you don't know my reference to that, it's a TikTok of this woman, and I believe that she kind of has like visibly like a scar on her face. And she says, when I tell people that my ex-boyfriend stabbed me, they always ask me, well, what did you do? Did he go to jail? Did he get arrested? Did you call the police? And she goes, I told you he stabbed me. He is no longer with us. And she goes, his mother had something to do the following Saturday. Oh my God. And then we literally have strength at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to upload these um, pictures of these to my Instagram story so you can. I'm going to keep these out. I have to go pick up Christian from school right now. So when I get back, I'll upload pictures so you guys can check out my Instagram. Is linked in the description. Over the next 24 hours, the cards will be up if you want to actually see it. But the fucking symbolism is crazy because there's a snake in the devil card that we pulled first, and then the strength card is literally a lion roaring at this snake. Um, so anyway, let me hurry up and finish this up. What the hell was I just talking about? I wanted to say one more thing. What was the one thing that I wanted to say? I started rushing myself, and then my trains of thought started going all over the place. I need to just calm down and think. The birds, some of them may no longer be with us. Oh, yes. When I said you're incredibly powerful, your lineage is incredibly powerful. When I said your strongest ancestors bringing your baddest bitch out, you're about to see. And it's like, have faith. It doesn't matter what it looks like in the beginning. Because when it starts to rain, it looks like that straw is going to hold up. But let us continue as the storm continues on. You know what I'm saying? You're about to see just how powerful you are. You're about to see just how powerful your spirit team is. You're about to see how important and significant you are. Because you have a purpose. You have come here to do something of great significance to the world. So when people come into your life and they are intentionally trying to fuck with and get in the way of your purpose by making you feel bad about yourself, attacking your confidence, wanting you to just feel like shit, it's not just you that they're impacting. Like, yes, you're important. You're the person who the messages are coming through. But as a consequence, it's every other person that you've been called to serve that's being impacted. You're not one to play with because you got shit to do in this lifetime. And instead of focusing on her passion and her purpose, my baby has been sitting crying about you and what you did to her. We don't want to do this for the next 30 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like that vibe. We're not going to continue to go back and forth. We're not going to continue. She thinks that she puts this fire out with you. She thinks that she overcame this thing with you, and here you come back. We're not going to continue to do this because my descendant has shit that she needs to do, that they need to do. Period. So when I say that you're winning the war is won. The war is over. It's your period of rest and relaxation. And whatever needs to be done so that you can get into that rest and relaxation is going to be done. And that's for you on a mental, emotional, physical level, but that's also to them. Period. So this reading took a turn that I did not anticipate. Wowzers. Love you guys. There's lots of offers in my description. I've got a course. I've got a free offer that blows my fucking mind. It should not be free. I've got a podcast. It's really fucking good. What else do I have? Just check the description. I love you, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Be sure to comment. Tell me if this resonated with you. What parts were your favorite? What parts made you laugh? I love to hear your feedback. Bye, 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 bye.